A Minute with Alan. This one is Tyranny of the Minority. When I was in undergraduate school, I was a political science major, and I later got a master's in political science, and I made the National Political Science Honor Society, which ain't easy. I was going to be a lawyer. Thank God I didn't do that. But we were forced to read. I mean, it was mandatory that we read a book called Democracy in America. This was written by a French nobleman, Alexandre de Tocqueville. And he wrote it in 1835 and a second edition in 1840. And he said some fascinating things. He talked about the American system, which he thought was brilliant. He said that in the future, far in the future, that the United States and Russia would be the two great world powers and so forth. His book is considered a classic. Whether people are asked to read it today is who knows. But he also talked about the tyranny of the majority and the fact that just because you're going by majority rule doesn't mean it's necessarily fair, that the majority can overwhelm other people. And that's true. We've seen it. You can also have a tyranny of the minority. And that's what we see in the kind of protests going on, a small, tiny percent of the population, some legitimate students, some not, some just rabble-rousers who show up for anything they can, disrupting tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of students on campuses, maybe prohibiting their graduation. Many of these students missed high school graduation because of COVID. Now they miss college graduation, a signal event normally in your life. And we do this, we observe this, we are careful about a tiny minority of the population. Now, we shouldn't trample on minority rights. We're very careful about transgendered people. We try to take into account who they are and what it means and try to have empathy. Transgendered people, by every statistic I read, are about 1.4% of the United States population. It doesn't mean that they're not worthy. It doesn't mean it's not important to be fair and to be objective, but it does mean we have to keep things in perspective. So consequently, there can be a tyranny of the majority, and majority rule can force minorities into uncomfortable, unfair, unethical, illegal positions, no question about it. But so can a tyranny of the minority, and that's what we're seeing today.